Right. I would like to share how I start IDM tracks. It consists of a 3 as 1 starting point, which are bass, atmosphere and drums, but in the other way around. So I start with drums and then we will do some atmosphere on top of that, and then we will fit a bass line under that. And from there we have a solid ground to, I feel at least, to usually that's enough to start further developing a musical idea. There's enough to inspire me to take it in one direction or the other, and to start arranging and to make it into a full track. So we will start by putting down some drums. And in the latest update of Ableton, they added this very cool Rhythmic step sequencer, which I feel works particularly well for IDM drums. And you will see here on the left-hand side that there are 16 pads that look a lot like the drum rack, and that's because they correspond to that. I think you can actually use it with something else, but I haven't tried it yet. But it makes sense to load the drum rack. And what I like for this style, and for most styles, to be honest, is an 808. Others could be the DMX or the Lindrum, but let's stick with an 808 today, and either core or classic. I think I like core a bit more because it gives you these parameters to treat the whole kit, which is another fundamental way of achieving the sound that I want to go for, because it was I mean, there is something to be said, of course, about treating every single voice with its own effects, but at the end of the day I like to treat the whole kit as one. So I will stop talking now and just start putting in some notes. I will decrease the steps on the hats. Put in a little, not a ghost snare, but something that will come every now and then only here. So, and then there's this roll function, and basically everything that can give you a little bit more longevity, or what do you call it? Bang for your buck? No, it's something else. Anything that can make your static loops feel more alive for longer will help you here. So if I've set the chance, you know, the steps to 11 out of 16, maybe on roll I will do 12 out of 16. And of course you will not be able to calculate and to tell this apart, but it will create a slight variation that will pay off in over time. That's enough. I don't want to take it too far. And then we have, per default, it has selected a clap, but we want an open hat. So I will go and put that one there, and I will select a few hits. And it's cool because this kit already has as you can hear, the closed and the open hi-hat going to the same mute group, choke group, so that they mute each other out. All right, I think that's a decent starting point. But there are a few other sounds that I really like from the 808, and those would be the conga, and this one, and the rim shot. But this one only gives us 4 voices, so we can group this and duplicate it. And on the duplicate we can clear all of these out. right? And we can add, for example, a clap is also one of those sounds that is good to have. Clap there. What else did we say? These ones. I'm just doing something here. We'll see what it sounds like. And the conga. That was not a conga, that was a tom. All right, let's apply some of these, maybe vintage. We can, I like to do hard panning of certain elements. I usually don't go in between. It's either centered or fully left, fully right. So in this instance, we can do that with the congas. And here to the left. And I say that I go full left or full right only, but the random pan can be cool. But if I want something to stay in the panorama, I go to the extremes or center. And other than that, they can play around the field, which can be cool for the hats. So let's apply those three things and see what we got. Cool. I think that's a good starting point for the drums. We can add an envelope follower to create kind of classic textbook IDM effect, and that's a lot of producers used the Roland R8, and they play this. I don't have an R8, but I have an R70, and I hope you can see that, but it has this value slider that can be assigned to whatever you want, and they assign it to the pitch very often. But because this is 2024, we can use an envelope follower to take the envelope of the output of the entire drum kit and apply to things like the transpose of the hats. So let's see what it sounds like. Didn't like that. Let's keep it on the closed hi-hat for now. And another thing I like to do after that is to use this or something like it. But the Cableguys just released a plugin that's quite cool, and it has it goes way deeper than what I will show now, but it has these presets that you can apply on loops. And And we can just preview a few of these and see if they sound good on what we created. I like that. Right, so what's cool now is to take the drum machine and the samples that we applied on top, this wood knock and the air duct, and to, well, I'm a big fan of multiband processing on drums, and both dynamic and harmonic. But in this case, let's do the harmonic one and distort these two layers of sound together. And I will use a plugin called Impact by Surreal, whatever, machines or devices. And I will set this to 3 bands so that we get individual saturation options for these 3 bands that we can adjust, but I find that they're placed quite nicely here. So let's just play and apply as we go and see what it sounds like. This is just a matter of taste, but I'm quite satisfied there. The next thing we can do is to send, put a reverb on a return channel and to send our entire drum bus there, or our drum track rather. And I like this particular preset in SuperPlate, and it's old radio space, because it is high passed, so that even if I would send the entire kit there, the kick, which I don't want to have a lot of reverb, will not. Cool. So the rhythm section is enough for me to have inspiration for the next aspect, which is the atmosphere. And there's a few different ways, or many different ways to go about this. I will go for the easy way for this video, and I will use a sample, something that I have in my library. And I will just search here for Atmos. And if I recall correctly, it is not that one, but this one here. Cool. I'm going to open it up load it in a simpler. I'm going to create some MIDI here, maybe 4 bars. Let's see what it sounds like as is with the drums. Not bad. But what we will do is to use this envelope follower and map a few of the parameters on the atmosphere channel. So we will start by the gain. And you see this was previously set to 39. And it's probably good because on 0, if we listen to this now, we can actually mute the drums. You see it's jumping from 0 just up a little bit when the transients from the drums play. So we can adjust that by letting more of the signal through, by pulling up this 0 value up until it sounds good to our ears. So let's do that while we listen to it with the drums. Cool. Let's do some more parameters. Because this is a pad sound at its core, it's not very paddy anymore, we can do the filter frequency and on the bandpass, because that's my preferred filter most of the cases for pads. So let's have a listen. See, this filter is too steep, so let's open it up to let more of those frequencies through and maybe add a bit of drive. Cool. Give it some reverb. Starting to sound good. What we can do next is to offset the envelope follower by whatever value we want. I'm going to do either an eighth or a quarter note. Yeah, let's have a listen. Like that. All right, moving forward, we will put some an echo straight on the channel, straight on the atmosphere track. Put it on dotted 8 notes, but give it a few percentage here. Cut out the lows. And boost the highs. We'll cut them a bit and give them some resonance. And put it on ping pong. I will use the envelope follower to modulate the cutoff frequency on the echo here to see what we get. That's a bit extreme, huh? There maybe. Maybe it could be cool to also affect these here. What are they called even? These delay offsets by a few, you know, tenths of percentages. Gives a nice detuned feel. All right, so we have done that. Let's compress the dry signal with the delayed signal straight on the channel to level them, kind of, to create a rhythmic, added rhythmic interest, because it's going with the drums, right? So if we, you know, I'll just show you. It's going to be a bit loud by default, so I turn it down and we'll bring it back in as we go. All right, without it. Right, you're nowhere near what this sample was when we got it. It's something completely different now. Yeah, the next thing that is cool on these type of sounds is to use something like Alterboy that allows you can put it before the echo, that allows you to mess with the pitch. So I like to set it either an octave up, an octave down, could also be a fourth or a fifth, but for this pad, let's keep it an octave. Let's do an octave up first and then bring this mix in either by automation, but since we are working with the envelope follower for everything in this track, let's map it. So let's play and see. I will cut out a few more lows here. It doesn't seem to have a lot of lows actually there. There they are, lurking in the side bands. So let's cut those out. We can maybe do it after the compression. It doesn't really matter. This is just reference with our trusty SPAN. The reds are side, so we don't want them to overpower the blue, the mids. So it's looking good. I like that sound. Let's add a bass to this, and because we have, you know, it's not complete chaos or anything, but there is some stuff going on in the rhythmic department of this track already. So if we would use, you know, one of those very jumpy FM basses that does octave jumps and ratchets and all these things, it would be very tiresome to listen to. Because if everything is all over the place, nothing will feel like it's all over the place. So we will do a calm, kind of sustained note bass line underneath this and see what it sounds like. So I will use Operator for this. And just see where we're at. Something like that. Cool. Let's drop it an octave. So let's treat this the same way as I did in the video I uploaded the other day. The first thing we can do here is to apply some FM. And I will use the second oscillator and pull the sustain up. Pull this up one, and then I will add this to taste, right? So can be useful as well to just drop an EQ here. So that we can see when we pull this one up. Where the overtones are. That's good. Let's layer this with some noise. So we can just group this operator, duplicate it, turn off the second oscillator and change the first one to a noise, turn the filter off, and apply ever so slightly. This is already enough, if you ask me, because I want to treat this like we did the drums, give or take, by taking two different signals and distorting them together. And the noise will come out a lot when we do that. So this time, instead of impact, let's go with roar. And use this one and start applying. Turn down the output a bit. Cool. Let's modulate this with Roar's internal LFO. So we have here the Shaper Amt is what that is, and we can use any LFO to control it. That's what it sounds like. I like that a lot. Let's add a second shaper, noise injection. Let's make this mono. They hide the glide away in a place I always forget in operator. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm wondering if there was something I forgot that I want to share about this technique, but I think not. And if there is, and I will remember it later, then I will post another video. But in the meantime, if you have any questions or requests, maybe you want me to expand upon one of these techniques and make more of a deep dive into one of these, or maybe you have some other requests, or maybe you just want to tell me that you liked this video, you can do that by subscribing, and I will see you next time. Take care.